Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Hordes on GTA 5 managing to get his retro elegy stuck on a wall. Not just the normal sort of stuck, this is more impaled on the wall. The car can flounder around and he's eventually just about spat out. But yeah, it turns out that particular planter is a big fan of the elegy. Psycho Rat on Forza Horizon 3, heading up towards a notoriously dangerous jump. Seen various vehicles go flying off here, and sure enough, the Ford Deluxe does go for a big stunt. But this time it is all the way through the hot air balloon, amazingly coming back down to a lovely controlled landing. Yeah, that's not quite necessarily how you would expect things to go, having completely and utterly overshot that that landing zone through all the flipping and twisting through the air, but well landed nevertheless. Broken Light MG on the crew, travelling at plenty high speed, doesn't quite get the threading the needle through the traffic. However, the game decides to reward him by vomiting cars through the tunnel wall. You know the cars that vanished from a car park a few episodes back? I think we've found them. I don't... They're in the middle of the ocean, so I have no idea where those cars have come from. And then I have to, of course, plough into them, and some get despawned. But very, very peculiar. Anyway, up next on to Project Cars with a Formula Golf. Everything is looking like it is going okay here at Snetterton when, for no apparent reason, something breaks. I don't know what breaks on this car. We've seen various weird things happen on Project Cars, but this... is a very, very peculiar. Just everything gives up, and when they pause the game again, it does a similar thing. To me, it kind of looks like the vehicles with the inbuilt jacks that get fired down when they go into pit lane. It looks like somebody's fired that out the bottom of this car. I slowed it down to try and figure out if there was debris or anything that you could see that goes on, and no, it's just car is moving along fine, and then car is not moving along fine. The suspension is broken before it hits the pit wall as well. It's called into, so I wonder if maybe something like go in the suspension, and the game got very confused as to what on earth to do with the physics. Potentially, but yeah, a very, very odd one. Speaking of rather odd occurrences, Mr. Pac-Man on Dirt 4, yeah, that's a wheel falling off an opponent's vehicle that goes underneath his buggy and then goes for a tumble. It lifts up another AI buggy, but doesn't flip them. He does end up back on his wheels, but yeah, a stray wheel and a big roll for the buggy. Schnitzel for the win on a Need for Speed Most Wanted is going to use a pickup truck to clear out a police roadblock. That's certainly an efficient way of doing it. Admittedly, I mean, the damage between the Gallardo hitting the pickup truck and so on is he's still going to slow him down, but yeah, that's a clever tactic. That is definitely one way to be avoiding the police. Zero Nation ZN on Need for Speed 2015 has found one of the photo spots, parks his car up to get the thing when, well, FailRace Police Department make their appearance in the shot. I don't know if he's being chased by them or whether it was just a completely derpy cop that came into shot and smacked himself into the wall. Duck 002 on a Crossout is heading into battle. His vehicle apparently a little bit difficult to control. Can't quite get it back under control. Big old tank snapper, and then finds a tree, in which the tree will then see said armoured vehicle stuck on its roof. Turns out trees are mean. We've seen this before. Trees are mean in games. Certainly to slightly peculiar cars. French Fries on Just Cause 3 has come across the peculiar card juggling act. Yep, that's two bounces. Most amusingly of all, though, he doesn't seem to care about being bounced up into the air. Just not a care in the world. He's missed his turning. He's just going to go back and, yeah, carry on his daily life, having been bounced around in the air. Examined Shark on Just Cause. Tries to grapple onto a guy, misses, lands on the front of a Jeep, and the Jeep was very angry with all of this. The Jeep was not a fan of being accidentally landed on, and displayed that by throwing Rico across the map. I don't know what on earth went on with that particular Jeep, but there we go. Black and Red 81 on WRC 5 gets a big two-wheeled moment and flies through the air. A bit of a peculiar crash, also gets rather wedged on a telephone pole, but yeah, a rather peculiar crash. Everything looks, well, it's going for a fairly normal roll almost, but something gets caught on the floor. For whatever reason, the vehicle digs in and just gets spat off up into the air. We got it in super slow motion. Yeah, a little bit too much of a cut on the inside would put the Citroen up onto two wheels, and at this point everything's going normal, and it just bounces off of the ground. The damage in slow motion is a little bit funky as well, but yeah, that's not particularly what you want to have happening as you are going around a corner. But there we go, as the rally car will soar through the air. It's easily done. It doesn't even look like the worst of corners for managing to accidentally cut and launch your vehicle onto the side. But, well, that's the outcome from all of that. Mustang Bugatti on Dirt 4 is coming up towards the finish line. The finish line's going to be a little more dangerous than the bloody stages themselves. Can't quite get it slowed down. Clips one of the sort of distance markers, does a double barrel roll before coming to a halt perfectly at the marshal point. As you do. Speaking of rolls, Jamjar Hastings on Dirt Rally, notorious Swedish stage. The banks can be very mean, and sure enough, it's another Citroen that goes for a couple of tumbles, although gets away with all of it. Just about. Going to be a little bit cleaner on the landing for a perfect getaway. That being said, considering how nasty the snowbanks are, not too bad at all. And finally, we've got all of the dirt games today. We're back to Dirt 3. With a very peculiar Peugeot moment, as somebody's filled all of the Peugeots with helium as they crest the jump. I've played a lot of Dirt 3. I have never seen that happen. Never, ever seen the helium Peugeots. Yeah, my answer's on a postcard for that one. But definitely one of the most bizarre incidents we have seen in this series. However, that is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and you can find all of the rules and how to submit them in there. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.